What up, y'all? I'm back again. Okay, this is my next live. All right, I really should have put this out yesterday, but things happen, right? We're gonna get right into it, y'all. So I got a couple things that I want to talk about. It's gonna be probably about three probably about three things, three main things. Okay, let me get myself together real quick. All right, y'all already know. It's DIY Live. You already know about my other DIY channel on YouTube. Y'all check that out. That's me working on things. And then I also got a podcast that I want y'all to check out. I'm gonna try to speak up so y'all can hear me or whatever, because this mic loud, but it ain't real close to my mouth, so you might not be able to hear. Okay. So first of all, I want to talk about Tylil show live. All right. Um, so the people who follow the most popular live streamers should pretty much be tapped in with this. Okay. Let's talk about this. All right. On my live yesterday, I talked about, well, now a couple days ago, right? Castanet entering the red carpet in the BET Awards and how the fellow streamers was given a hard time by the staff members of the BET Awards, and how his streamers or his streamer friends basically couldn't get in without him, all right? Um, the BET Awards, as far as entering the awards and the red carpet, security was giving them a hard time, right? I don't want to keep saying it, but I'm trying to move forward as fast as I can, right? Castanet was the main reason that the streamers like Tylil, his 4-year-old niece, and his cameraman were able to get in. Also, Rakai, who is also a fellow streamer, and both of these accumulate millions of viewers, by the way. So they, in streamer world, they're super popular. To the youth, they're super popular, and you should already know Castanet, right? Um, so yesterday, or the day before yesterday, now Tylil, which runs the Tylil show, took to his stream and he addressed what the issues was as far as why he couldn't get in to the red carpet event with his niece. And he talked about the runaround that he was experiencing from the BET employees. Hold on, y'all. I'm tripping. All right, so he talked about the runaround that he was getting from the BET employees and things of that nature. Now, let me just say this. He was very vocal. He was honest about how he felt and what he considered the facts were at the time. And like I said, this showed us the awards from a different point of view, right? As far as streaming and things like that, that's something that we as viewers are not used to seeing. We are not used to really being behind the scenes, because from since I've watched it, it's always been a matter of professionalism when it came to the BET Awards, and that's pretty much all you saw. You didn't really get to see the nitty and gritty unless something happened and it hit the news or somebody talked about it. It's just a totally different ball game. So I do appreciate being able to see the BET Awards from a streamer's point of view. Okay. Plus, most of the time they don't even allow people to stream. Like, you can have your camera and all that, but streaming is something that they really don't allow, from my understanding. So glad they allowed it at that point in time, right? Um, Basically, they wasn't going to let him in, and mainly because he had his 4-year-old niece with him. He stated in his live that he basically was told multiple excuses as to why his niece wasn't allowed to come onto the red carpet. Let's briefly go over the video, okay? The viewers who didn't watch it, I'm gonna give y'all a rundown from what I seen. So Tylil arrived. He received a phone call from Kai. Kai stated he'll get in touch with the producers or his producers, or maybe the BET producers. I'm not sure exactly what he told him. But he basically told him he should be good to go. Okay, before Tylil even got there, he basically had Kai Sinet's word. Hey, I'm gonna get you in there. I'm gonna make some few phone calls, and we're gonna get you together. So applause for Kai, right? So it seems like he knew she couldn't come onto the red carpet, as he was telling the ladies that met him outside when he pulled up in the limousine. So I guess it was some ladies outside. I'm thinking these are BT workers or people that escort important people, or people that was, basically on them. I'm not gonna say an A-list, but on some type of list as far as getting an escort, right? I don't know how it works because I never been to the BT Awards, But these people met him, greeted him, and he basically explained to them that he not sure if his niece could come, right? At least that's what he said from my interpretation. So from my understanding, he was invited to the red carpet BET Awards, but he wanted to bring his niece because he's an up and coming streamer, and asked Kai. And like I said, Kai stated he'd get him in, he'd get in touch with the producer. Boom, that's it. All right, that's it. So all that is understood so far. Let's talk about what happened next. He proceeded to ask the ladies, could he take pictures on the red carpet with his niece? He's seen other celebrities do it, and they told him, well, basically, we won't be able to answer that question. Okay, so they won't be able to answer that question for him. Red flag number one. All right. From there, Tylil appeared upset, and even from there, Tylil appeared that, you know, he was just irritated, okay? He mentioned he might go home, but he proceeded to answer a phone call which he had received from a man named John. John is supposedly Kai Cenat's manager or what have you, or whoever he is, right? He explained in the beginning and the prior stages of the issue to John, and he said that he never confirmed it if he could stream, but he did tell people that his niece can come. I'm not sure if whoever he was talking to said that he could bring the niece or not, right? That's why when it came to the situation like this, with multiple people being involved, you know, in different type of directions given, I feel like you guys always put something like this in writing, okay? Just put it in writing, because that way you have a written verbal confirmation. Instead of verbal confirmation, you have a written confirmation that you could do whatever it is that you're trying to do, all right? So before Tylil and his niece got onto the red carpet, it seems that if he was under the impression someone would meet him there, basically, and get him in. So after about 15 minutes of a riding to the BT Awards inside the limousine, you guys, when I started asking for tickets, literally several minutes from arriving to the BET, employee stated that his conversation, she cannot come in so many words. So basically, he arrived with his tickets that he can get into the awards, and the lady was like, you can't get in. Basically, you can't get in because you have a 4-year-old girl with you. She is a minor, and minors are not allowed onto the red carpet. All right? Tylil, like, I spoke to John. I'm here now. I spoke to John. John said he'd get me in. Where's John? Okay? Insane. I can't even imagine the feeling of anxiety that went through his head after getting dressed, spending money, and, you know, traveling and bringing his niece with him to the BET Awards. So she like, you can't come in. You know what I'm saying? So this is very shocking, right, at this point. They told him that we have a no minor policy, okay? She proceeded to say because of liquor. Insane, right? Waste of time. Tylil addressed that in his stream, how she used liquor as the excuse as to why his niece couldn't attend, which is crazy, crazy work, okay? She did go on to say the only people that got approved for the kids to attend is icons. Not going to lie, makes a lot of sense when you think of all the things that goes on in BET. I'm talking about fights, vulgar language, even the exotic dressing that's being worn. I mean, after a certain time, kids should be in bed pretty much. You know, it's not really a kid-friendly, I feel like, event. But like they were saying, if you get pre-approved, your kid could come. Or if they're like iconic, I guess, right? Anyway, they proceeded to move him to the side with his niece as he attempts to make a phone call, right? Super tragic, all right? I can't imagine being somewhere with my niece, my 4-year-old niece, and I'm getting treated like a secondhand citizen, getting told to move to the side so other people can come in, the people that's ready to go in, and you just stick to the side, all right? Tragic, right? Mind you, it looked like it's hot outside. It looked like it's almost 90 degrees. And you already know, when black people come together and that heat get to going, it's pretty hot, right? So anyway, can't imagine how he was feeling at this point. I must say he did keep his composure very well during the time, all right? He was very professional. As this is going on, you can see them talking about him, you know, behind them. Like I said, they're streaming. The PR people, the people that's in charge of running the red carpet or the security, they're having a conversation behind his back, right? The staff. I guess addressing the matter, but at the end of the day, it wasn't happening. From their point of view, it wasn't happening. He wasn't coming in, okay? So I'm not gonna lie, the people he was around was just questioning the whole scenario, even though he was telling them like, look, Kai Cenat is going to come, all right? I'm telling you, he's going to come here and he will be able to work this out. And it's just that simple. And I really think the reason why he made the reaction video after all of this happened was to just basically point out the fact that he was right. The things that he said was correct. Kai Cenat was going to walk through and he was going to push it through and make sure it happened, right? Let's keep going on with the story. All I got to say is these non-believers, they everywhere, right? Okay, so they treated him and his niece like a nobody. You know, what this incident gave me was young streamer popping in a certain generation where older and some young people may not know him because he's not mainstream. Let's not entertain this guy. They start looking a little shocked when like fans started to come up and started to hug him, shake his hand. You can see the look on their faces. The demeanor changed a little bit, which I thought was really, really funny. People pay attention just because you don't know somebody or they're not mainstream don't mean that they ain't got no pull for real, right? We living in a different time. People can get on the internet, change the game, and not everybody know who you are, but certain people might know who you are. So this is definitely a lesson for me because this started to look like crazy work, right? The things that they was doing. So behind the scenes while he's waiting, Kai gets in touch with most likely through the chat, right? So you already know the chat let Kai know everything. So you got Tylil streaming, you got Kai streaming, so people, they go in between chats and they tell what's going on. You know, they keeping up with the times, right? It's the power of the chat, basically, y'all. The power of the chat. So John, which is Kai's manager, shows up to give him credentials for the two of them directly from T-Pain, right? Because T-Pain is supposed to be one of the producers of the show, or I don't know, he works for BET. So I don't know exactly his role, but he does work for BET, and he did give them some passes that supposedly was able to get them in. Supposedly, right? Still gave him a hard time. Very disorganized situation. Just sad to see, you know, what was going on. And you could tell he was very annoyed by the situation. You know what I'm saying? I was annoyed just looking at the situation, to be honest with you. He expressed he felt that they was making excuses instead of just, you know, saying, look, you're not top dog. So you cannot come in on the red carpet with a minor. That's basically how he was looking at it when he took to his stream the other day. I think it was the other day. When he took to his stream the other day, he did express that. He said he would have respected that more if they would have just told him, like, look, you ain't that guy. You know what I'm saying? You just not that guy, and we're not going to let you in, basically. Instead of giving him multiple excuses about the liquor, about things like that. So after that, they went on to have a private off-camera conversation. They muted the mic because he was about to attempt to go in with his new credentials that Kai manager gave him, right? From there, it do get a little heated because part of the staff saying, no, those credentials are not valid. But one person saying it is valid, you should be able to get in with those credentials. So just wasn't making sense. One person tried to make it an issue because he was waiting for Kai because he started to sit over on the side, which also caused a little bit of an issue too. But it was a smart move that he sat there and waited for him, right? So if y'all seen the lady in a white button-up shirt, now if y'all seen this stream, if y'all Tylil fans, if y'all watch streamers, you will seen a lady in a white shirt, right? Okay, she did the most. All right, she was saying things like, "You giving me no choice." Tylil basically trying to get Tylil to move along. Don't block the way of the traffic. It was just crazy. Okay, I get doing your job, but it was just a little bit much. She was coming off as kind of aggressive but rude at the same time, like really trying to overassert herself, overassert the rules. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Tylil really wasn't doing nothing for real. He was just really waiting on the side. You know what I'm saying? He was very, very well behaved, dressed up. I got to give it to him. Now, when he got back to his live the next day so he could do his stream, Totally different. Feel me? He let them know how he felt and voiced his opinion and very, you know, how he talked. If you watch him, you know how he talk. So anyway, at this point, Tylil clearly pissed. He not budging. She came and told them, yeah, I don't think he has power. Basically, he like, I know somebody of some power. They gonna get this done. And she like, power. I don't think he has power. Is what she's telling like her staff, her other staff members, right? So they literally down looking him. They looking down on him like he not that guy. You feel me? That's just how they playing it. So who did you ask though is like what I would be thinking. Like, did you ask the security guard if he had any pool? Oh, my bad, live. I'm trying to make sure we still good. Anyway, did you ask the security guard, did he have any pool? Did you ask, who did you ask? Because I didn't see her make any calls. And it's clear to see that you guys on the red carpet was basically all in, you know, working. Well, some of y'all was working together. But it really did take a Caucasian lady to come down and say, hey, he good. He can come in. And that was kind of embarrassing because everybody who was giving him static just so happened to be African American as well, which is kind of sad to me, right? So the lady in the guard, I'm guessing security, stopped him even after the Caucasian lady came through. Now I don't even know who this lady was, but clearly she works for BET too. But they still wasn't having it. They still was like, look, I'm the one that run the floor. You're not able to come in. I really don't care who come and tell you can come in because I run it. Basically, it started to be like an ego thing, right? They have a very bad setup. It was looking like on stream. Much miscommunication, not enough Indians, and too many chiefs, too many kings, and not enough pawns. What's going on here is what I was thinking the whole time I was watching it. Anyway, he waits for Kai on the sideline, y'all. Now, this back and forth been going on for about 20, matter of fact, over 20 minutes, okay? Before he just decided to chill and wait for Kai. All right, now, the kid looked clearly impatient. The kid, which is the 4-year-old niece, you could tell she just started getting, you know how kids get impatient. They want to run around. They start getting moody, right? And he looked very hot and bothered as well. Okay, no food, no water. I think somebody passed her some water and offered the girl some fruit snacks and things like that. That was nice of them, right? Also, had somebody offering a charger so he could charge his phone. Let's get back to the story, okay? He let them know my friend gonna come through and go right through with my niece. He told them that way before Kai got there, okay? Some of their reactions were literally, okay, whatever you say, literally, right? I thought that was hilarious. In the lady's defense, that kept telling him he couldn't go, all right? She probably was afraid she was going to lose her job. You know what I'm saying? People are very job oriented. People do not want to lose their job. They do not want to look bad. You got cameras, you got people watching. She's going to protect herself. She's going to save her own, as they say, all right? I really do respect the fact he didn't leave his niece because they kept encouraging him to leave his niece, okay? They kept saying, hey, if you want to go in, you can go in. We'll hold her. You can take pictures on the red carpet, come back and get her, or maybe some people were saying, hey, I'll meet you on the other side. Other side of what, okay? Negative. He did not want to do that. He didn't do it. Proud of him that he didn't do it. The way they were acting, I feel like you never know. They might have called Child Protective Services on that man. So I'm glad he didn't leave her. All right, so I can't lie, my man in the blue suit, which was the security guard. If y'all haven't seen it, go watch it, okay? He looked really, really salty. Tylil told him directly, like, when my friend Kai get here, he gonna walk my niece through with no problem. The guy in the suit is like, if you think so, but I doubt it. Because what she says, pointing to the other BT employee, goes. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. The non-believers. The non-believers. They even went as far as to tell him to watch how he was acting. Other words, act normal because brands are watching. After a good 45 minutes to an hour of waiting on Kai, Kai slowly finds up, gang. Okay, he finally shows up. Right, dyslexic moment, right? He finally shows up. All right, Kai finally make it on the scene, embraced the little girl and Tylil right away. You know, he like, hey y'all, what's up? Oh my God, happy to see y'all. Picks up the girl, hug her. Scene changes quickly, guys. The question is now, will they get in, right? Boom. They let him right in without any problem. They told him flat out that they were good. They walked right in. Kai Cenat, of course, was holding the little girl, but they let them in with no problem. The double standard, right? Pretty much a shame. All recorded on the camera, pure favoritism, okay? It's at its finest. Crazy, crazy, crazy work. I can't lie. Kai is a good man for what he did. Real good guy. I got to see his character. I really like that about him. I ain't gonna lie. Once they was on the red carpet, they both did their thing. Tylil and his niece pictures, poses were perfect. They were cute. I mean, they stole a show. She was Showtime ready. Even after waiting for hours, I gotta give it to that little girl. Like, you know how some kids, they get frantic because they were trying to say she wasn't iconic, like she wasn't trained up, or like she was, like they was nobody's. She literally put on the show. 4-year-old little girl waiting for an hour, probably an hour and a half, finally get in, no food, out there, out in the sun. And when it was showtime, she did her thing. Okay, she clearly a star, y'all. Kai Cenat was probably one of the most popular people at the awards. However, when it came down to getting a seat and watching the actual show, Kai could only take them so far. Okay, as soon as they were able to get into the awards, Tylil and Rakai's streams literally ended. It was way too crowded. Okay, BT made sure Kai Cenat had an up-close seat and could go backstage whenever he wanted and stream the whole entire time, him and his cameraman. But his fellow streamers, they just couldn't do that. They probably left because literally they couldn't get past security. All right, the security wouldn't let them through. So watching this was very, very, very interesting, man. It was very interesting because even though Kai's that guy, Kai was able to make things move. It's funny how he could make things move for himself, but he couldn't quite make things move for other people. He could make things move for other people to a certain extent, especially in that situation. Those security guards, once they finally got into the awards, because it was like them standing at the door. Like I said, a lot of people know Kai Cenat, but it's a lot of older people that don't know Kai Cenat, and a lot of older people that was at the BT Awards working, and some younger too. But some of the staff there, they just was sticking to the rules as they should. You know what I'm saying? Safety first and things like that. But I just thought it was crazy that he was able to get into the BET Awards. So they had him take an alternate route so he can get into the BET Awards. The lady who I'm believing was one of the staff of BET too, and whoever his managers are or whatever, they got him all the way past the crowd and onto the actual floor where they basically clapped that floor exclusive. You couldn't get on that floor unless you were a celebrity. So Kai was able to do it, but the other streamers weren't able to do it. And right then and there, you could see a lot of lagging, streams ending, and things like that. So it's just unfortunate, you know. It's just unfortunate. Watching that just makes me be like, I would hate to be that person, even though, yes, count your blessings. It is a blessing you got to take a picture on the red carpet. I just would hate to be that person that will have to go through all of that and have to sit through all of that and still only but get so far and get treated like that. It would probably be, yeah, crazy. Like I said, if you didn't check out Tylil's stream, he addresses it. He talks a lot about it. He put Toda on his stream. So it's a very interesting stream. Go watch it. Just a couple days ago, y'all. Probably his last stream. I don't know if he did another one. So let's get to the next topic. I gotta hurry this up, y'all, because I you know what I'm saying? I got things to do. All right, so let's talk about the anti-I protest, the No Kings protest. Okay, so it's a lot of things going on right now in America. I mean, protests going on every day. And this recent one is from yesterday. Well, the day before yesterday, y'all, because I put the stream out late, right? brought out the masses. It started with the anti-ICE raid that happened in Los Angeles and in New York. If you don't know, I talked about it on my last live, but basically the people of America started a protest in response to the raids that has been conducted in the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, aka ICE, okay? The protests reportedly go out of hand and some people became destructive, and Trump administration allegedly sent the National Guard and military troops without coordination with the California governor, which opened up a big old can of worms, okay? So let's fast forward to yesterday, which was the 250th Army and Military Parade, which took place in Washington, D.C. All right, so shout out to that. The president administration, of course, attending, but while that was going on, it was several other protests going across America in response to the parade, right? These places include California, New York, which are the obvious, Atlanta, Georgia, Philadelphia, Asheville, North Carolina, Detroit, Michigan, Cincinnati, Ohio, Largo, Florida, Houston, Texas, Chicago, and a few other states. And they call it the No Kings protest. No Kings protests. Okay. Basically, a lot of people joined this protest to demonstrate the unhappiness they were feeling when it came to President Trump, his administration, policies, rules, and regulations that were practiced amongst them, right? For the most part, it was peaceful. The protests, they were only a few states that did get tear gassed, right? The crowd got tear gassed. They practiced crowd control tactics to push the crowd back or out the way or into a certain direction, right? Of course, LA being one of those cities where that happened. If you don't know, LA is on an 8 o'clock curfew from the riot that, well, supposedly peaceful protest turned riot that they had a few days ago, okay? The police did start tear gassing early in LA during that protest to get them off the streets. That's what I'm assuming. I know people were supposedly tear gassed in Atlanta. I even seen an officer kick a man while he was on a horse. I think this was in Portland, but I'm not quite sure. Wow. Crazy work. So yeah, the turnout was crazy. Just hope things stay peaceful. I know there have been arrests made for all kind of things like inciting a riot, assaulting officers, unlawful protesting. So yeah, the point is, let's be safe, y'all. Let's take care of each other. Let's not make this the end of the country. You know what I'm saying? Let's do things peacefully. I'm all about peaceful protesting. I do feel like people should be able to express themselves and show how they feel. And if they don't agree with something, they should be able to at least say that without too many repercussions. But you do have to be mindful of the law, and we all have to follow the law. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is above the law. And just because we all coming out, or people are coming out together as groups, because I haven't attended none of it because I can't see myself doing it. I wish I could cover it, but I wouldn't want to be in something like that, right? I'll watch from the internet. But either way it go, y'all, take care of each other, okay? And let's not get in too much trouble trying to peacefully protest, right? To the rioters, I don't know, y'all. Y'all just, I don't know. If they catch y'all and you know you're doing some illegal activity, you know, hey. All right, so is it day 3 or 23? 23, I believe. Okay. The P. Diddy trial. Let's talk about it, okay? So we all know, or should know if you've been paying attention, Sean Combs is being accused of facing charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, transporting people for prostitution purposes, right? During his trial recently, he reportedly received some support from Kanye West. Kanye West was in the building. They say Kanye was not in the main courtroom, but it was said that he was sent to the overflow room for a short period of time. If you don't know what the overflow room is, basically the overflow room is, I guess, where people go to support P. Diddy because they're not either allowed in the courtroom or they got too many people in there. I don't know why they have to be in the overflow room, so I'm guessing they watching from a television is what I'm assuming. I believe his family is in the overflow room as well at this point in time. I believe. I'm not sure, but I think. But anyway, he was sent to the overflow room. He looked good, man. He had on his all white. He looked very godly. Nice to see Kanye dressed in all white. A little different from what I'm used to seeing him dressed as far as on TV or the internet, basically. Because a lot of people are on the internet. A lot of people that's not on TV anymore are on the internet. As far as some of the tea being said from his last trial day was that he still was reacting with head gestures during the cross-examination process in the courtroom. However, he didn't get in trouble by the judge this time around. I guess the judge saw it to be a normal human reaction, unlike the last time when he was allegedly told he would be kicked out of the courtroom if he kept up with the gestures, right? I'm assuming that the reason being is because they feel like it might be a part of intimidation or persuasion to the jurors when he makes certain movements with his head, but however, they letting that go. Now they're evaluating some recorded tapes with Christina Quorum and other staff members. Okay, I guess she recorded conversations between her and other staff members about Diddy, discussing what they've seen on an iPad. All right, I guess some of the staff members came across an explicit video of, I'm assuming, Diddy on an iPad they usually use for business purposes. Jonathan Perez, which is Diddy's former personal assistant, reportedly explained during the trial that he didn't know the second conversation was being recorded, and he said he spoke to Diddy and Christina prior to this second conversation about what they had found on this iPad before the recorded conversation even took place. What was stated that was on an audio was Christina just asking Jonathan questions about what he saw, who was around at the time. Jonathan reportedly responded that he was trying to save him. Him meaning Diddy, right? Allegedly. I guess he was advised to delete this video that they found on his iPad but refused to do it. Someone named Brandon, I guess, originally discovered the explicit video. Looks like to me a conversation about Diddy was being had amongst his staff members, Christina Jonathan, without knowledge, and recorded by Christina Quorum, and they reviewed it in the courtroom a couple days ago. I don't know if this was a setup or not. I don't know, but interesting to hear this. Just wonder what was on the video because, for one, what's to hide? For two, they said Brandon, the other staff member, was freaking out about what he saw on iPad. Why? And Christina was reportedly grilling Jonathan about who all was around when the video was found. What's on there? If y'all know without using vulgar language, I'm going to need y'all to put it in the comments. Let me know what is on this supposedly iPad, this video. What video are they looking at as far as in the courtroom right now, or as far as what they're going to be looking at? I want to know. All right. I guess people want to know if Christina would be called to testify. I am not sure. Okay. I didn't hear any reports on Christina being called to the courtroom. Only Jonathan, who just basically was testifying, right? Christina Combs reportedly wore a free, I'm sorry. Why am I saying Christina Combs? Christian Combs. Their names are very, very similar. But anyway, Christian Combs reportedly wore a free Sean Combs t-shirt today, y'all. Wasn't today. It was last court date. Okay. And people were saying courts don't allow that, but I guess they didn't mind at this time because they let him wear it, right? They didn't kick him out or anything like that or make him change his shirt. Now, the news did go over some of the things that were allegedly photographed in the Diddy's mansion, like possible ketamine and other bags of drugs like MDMA, Vaseline, a lot of body. I'm sorry. Wait. I'm not laughing. A lot of baby oil, approximately 200 bottles. Also Astroglide, reportedly 900 bottles. And lingerie. Okay, y'all. He had a security room with a lot of guns, which I mean, I'm guessing it's for security, okay? But not sure if guns were illegal or, I'm sorry, this the Astroglide. I'm sorry. All right, y'all, this live. Like, we having fun. But I am trying to get through this because I don't want to forget nothing. And then at the same time, I wanted to have a nice little flow to it. So I'm trying to be professional at the same time, but I know this is live, y'all. I mean, we being us, feel me? Some of this is not funny, but it's just like, what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Um, he does have security, so as far as the guns and stuff being in a home and it being a security room, it makes kind of sense to me. But they were looking at that because they said there were a lot of different guns and things like that. So it's so much information connected to the case. You could write 2 books, honestly. Not sure how these photographs and potential evidence will work against Diddy in this case, but definitely some interesting piece of information was being said and shown in the courtroom. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up, y'all, and I want y'all to stay locked in. I want y'all to subscribe. I want y'all to share. I want to pray for all these situations. Make sure, hopefully, everything go good. I know my last live was lagging. I'm just gonna go over that real quick. If I'm doing a live in my car or anything like that, it might lag some. Reason being is because of the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna try to put more. I did up my Wi-Fi just yesterday, so hopefully when I'm doing my live in my truck, you guys will be able to get it clearly, and you don't have to jump to YouTube to see the video. But every live I do, I'm going to put it on YouTube. Cam's DIY Live, same exact name. You can, excuse me, y'all. You can YouTube the name and you will see it. So if it is lagging, just go to YouTube, y'all. But yeah, so hopefully this is a good turnout. I'm gonna check it, make sure it is a good turnout, make sure that it's a good live. And the other thing is I might start like really I'm running out of battery, y'all. I'm gonna have to shut it down. But anyway, I might start really streaming. But anyway, since I run out of battery, I'm gonna hurry up and in this live. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I'm out, y'all. Peace out.